Shalomi, homies. You hear the birds? The breeze. See the sun shining down on my face? It feels so nice. I think I'm in heaven. I've been planting seeds all morning. Tomatoes, peppers, herbs, lots of different flowers, including this seed right here. Can you see it between my fingers? That is the seed of the Mexican sunflower. And Mexican sunflower is a very popular plant within permaculture. And for those of you who are not familiar with the term permaculture, permaculture is an ecological design system that studies and seeks to mimic natural systems, natural patterns. And you can apply permaculture design techniques and principles to anything that you want to make regenerative and sustainable in the way that nature is, right? So most people, if they have heard of permaculture, it's in terms of food systems. And Mexican sunflower is often used in food forests. And food forests are a type of permaculture food system. So food forests mimic natural forests, all of the spatial layers found within a natural forest. Canopy, understory, shrubs, herbaceous layer, ground cover, root crops, fungi, vining plants, aquatic plants if there's a pond or body of water. But all of those layers in a food forest produce some sort of food or medicine or material for building, anything useful to humans, right? It's a way of meeting our needs that is in harmony with nature, that works with nature instead of against it. So the reason that this sunflower is very popular in permaculture is because it serves many functions. One plant serves many, many functions. And this is a design principle in permaculture called stacking functions. You want every element within your permaculture system, within your garden, within your landscape, within your community, to serve as many functions as possible, at least 3. And you can ensure that in part based on where you place it, so that it can form beneficial relationships to other elements around it, okay? Now, Mexican sunflower is a pollinator plant, bees, butterflies. It is what is known as a dynamic accumulating plant, and what that means is it has a very deep root system that goes down deep into the earth and mines and pulls up nutrients that other plants cannot access. And it stores those nutrients in its leaves. And in order to get to those nutrients, what you can do is you can chop the plant, right? You can trim it, drop the leaves on the ground, and the leaves will break down and they will build soil, provide biomass for the soil, and break down and release the nutrients into the soil which other plants can feed off of, right? It also makes a great hedge or privacy fence if you live in the city, if you have a road nearby, you want to block pollutants or noise. It's a great fodder for chickens, right? So this is the idea, you want to set up a system that takes care of itself. You plan it, you design it, you place elements in such a way that they form a community. It's called a guild when you plant a community of plants that all support one another. You know, like the canopy, the tallest trees in a food forest, they provide shade for tender young saplings that are growing underneath it. You know, they prevent those younger plants from getting scorched by the sun, or they just provide shade for shade-loving plants in general. The trees provide a structure for vining plants to climb on. Nitrogen-fixing plants in a food forest are able to catch and store atmospheric nitrogen. They store the nitrogen in their roots in these little nodules. You can actually see them if you would dig up a nitrogen fixing plant. You'll see the nitrogen nodules on the roots. Every time you trim that plant back, it releases, it sloughs off the corresponding root that holds the nitrogen, and it releases the nitrogen into the soil, and it fertilizes the plants around it. Leguminous plants fix nitrogen. So beans, peas, anything that has a pod is most likely a nitrogen fixing plant. So, nothing in nature is by accident. The reason something exists is because it has a purpose. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. So, we should really stop changing things that we know nothing about. I mean, we should have stopped doing that a long time ago. But we're still alive, so at any minute we could correct ourselves and just slow the F down. That's what we need to do. Look around us, see what's going on, see what we can learn. Remember that we are part of all of this. It's a circle, it's a web. We're not above it, we're not below it, we're within it. And if we don't start acting like it, interfacing with reality instead of the delusion and the illusion that we have created and that we are a prisoner to, if we don't start acting according to what is real and interacting with what is real in a respectful way, if we don't do that, we're not long for this world. And we may not be long for this world anyways. But while we're here, let's do the best we can to be respectful and to act lovingly and kindly and with respect. So that is all I have to share today. There'll probably be more gardening videos and tips to come because I'm gonna be here for hopefully the entire growing season, but you never know what life throws your way. But I would love to be here from seed to harvest. So as things come up that I think that people might find interesting, I will share those things. Okay, bye guys.